Now, get to my school, the University of Houston plays UCLA 2:30 this Saturday, September 3rd at the Rob. It's supposed to rain, so it's supposed to not be as hot as.
If it's 90 degrees, it's 190 degrees. I don't care. I'm Mr. Gardner. I expect your folks to be packing this place. I don't want to look.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see no empty seats and all.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because you have a home opener.
I agree. Home opener should be sold out. Period. If the name team and name opponent, that's good, but that should even matter. It's the home opener should be sold out. Period.
And if you intend on making a statement about moving into a conference, attendance makes statements.
Yes, sir.
And they make statements when you playing McNeese State. Who is that? Stony Brook or Stony Hill? Because somebody in the BCS conference playing Stony Brook.
Right. And so home openers should be sold out. If you are as one of our buddies says, if you're in the football business, games should be sold out. Your home opener should be sold out. The school has made provisions for the heat with a lot of water stations available around the Rob. So information is posted on UHCougars.com. You can check that out. What should fans expect? Case Keenum is going to be the quarterback. He's back for U of H. Should be high-powered offense. No question the Cougars should score in the 40s at least. But the question is, what's the defense going to do? Is the defense going to give up in the 40s too?
We'll find out today.
As we record, we are moments away from U of H's Week 1 media day. Coach Sumlin, I'm sure, is going to have questions to answer about the defense, because everybody knows offense can score points. That's not a question.
Yeah.
Defense is the question. The defense will dictate how good the record will be this season. Whether it's 9, 10, 11 wins, 12 wins, whatever it is, if the defense is, hell, if it's dominant, U of H could be a BCS buster if it's dominant. Just be good. I ain't expect to be dominant. Just be good.
I will say this, and this is a known fact. You can't find them on the boards anywhere. Basically, people have finally had an opportunity to see semblance of case activities in practice and scrimmage outings. The other thing that people have looked at is been the schedule, and they've looked at this conference. Folks, 10 wins minimum.
Yeah, I agree.
And people are really looking at them this year as somebody that's ready to make a move.
Because in the conference USA, Southern Miss. Is Southern Miss the other top dog in the conference?
Right. And then you got the usual suspects.
SMU, Central Florida. SMU, that should be a shootout. But bottom line is, as I said for years, as a U of H alum, if U of H wants to be considered and thought of as ready for big time athletics, they need to win the conference. Need to start winning Conference USA football on a regular basis, and then we can talk about other things, going to the Big East or some other BCS conference for bigger, better things.
That's how you get invited, folks.
Exactly.
To the stadium situation, that can get resolved. It's pretty close to getting that. Hopefully, the announcement will be made before the season is over. Before we start conference play. Hopefully, which is about 3 weeks.
About that, right? Mm-hmm.
And once that announcement has been made, because Texas Southern will be playing in a new stadium next year with that program downtown, and folks, I'm going to tell you, new stadiums, they bring fans out just because it's new.
Right.
And you also create interest, and U of H needs to create interest.
And one thing I'm curious to see is how parking is going to be for Saturday's game, because of all the construction going around campus, as well as the garage they're building next to the Rob. So there's a lot of limited space on the Robertson Stadium area to park. So I'm curious to see how that's all going to be handled in terms of the fans.
Especially tailgating.
Definitely tailgating. The fans be prepared to walk. Because I expect to sell out, you're going to have to park around the neighborhood.
Walker gets it done.
So, yeah, so it can be done.
Just to mention that, the Dynamos have figured out a way to make that work. I go back to what former AD Dave Maggott said opening when he got here. The soccer program the MLB, the Dynamos were averaging a sellout crowd, and
well, that's when they win a championship too. They're struggling themselves, but that's another issue for
But at least you know that can happen. The last time there was a sellout standing room only, no place to park, was Windsor.
For football?
Yes, sir.
Texas Tech game. I mean, they had 5 or 6 sellouts last year, but even, let's be real, they were empty seats in the Rob last season, despite tickets being sold or whatever. Tailgating should go on. I don't care if it's rain or not. If you were a professional tailgater, you will be in the rain, period.
We know there's quite a few professional tailgaters out there.
Yes. Kickoff at 2:30. Quick notes regarding the NBA. They're supposed to meet the owner's side. David Stern and Adam Silver are supposed to meet with Billy Hunter and Derek Fisher Wednesday, hopefully. Hopefully it's a 2-day session. I have not read yet if this is going to be a multiple-day session. Right now it's just 1-day deal. Hopefully it's more than that. Hopefully things will finally, the rhetoric will stop and they'll get down to negotiating and actually discuss some points, talking points, and cut through all the BS. Yesterday, I believe, on Monday, September 15th was a day kicked around, being discussed by some of the basketball websites as a possible deadline date, which would start impacting preseason games if an agreement is not reached by that point. If preseason games are missed, then that's going to change the owner's stance because they'll start losing money, which means if the owners start losing money, then that's going to impact their negotiating points, which means they may start pulling better offers off the table and start going hard line, which we'll see how it's going to change the players. You and I have said for a while, you said especially in the earlier podcast that you expected around November 15th or so, November 1st, November 15th, when texts will start being missed, that players will start, their eyes start to open, and then we'll really get down to nitty-gritty negotiating and get something done. I don't want to take that long, but I think you're right. Goodness knows I did not want the season to be missed. But I would adjust, but I don't want the season to be missed. Hopefully things will get done before then, because the economy, the global economy, is in a crapper. So for these billionaires to be fighting with millionaires about money just does not sit well with a whole lot of folks. They need to get something done as soon as possible. Who are you, sir, and how can folks find you?
I am the 5th Ward Wildcat. You can find me online with www.kingsizeview.com. Hit the hotkey, the College Sports Report. You can see my mug right there on the front page. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is AKSVTHECSR. Blog, the College Sports Report. Online. The new edition, it should be up within by tomorrow. The new edition of a King Size View. Check out high school, college, news, community. We also do a back check on new cars. Folks, if you're looking to buy your student that's headed off to school, looking into it, go online and check. You can find that information. And you are, sir?
I'm KG of the Houston Roundball Review. Website address is www.houstonroundballreview.com. I'm on Facebook as well with a Facebook fan page for the Roundball Review. I'm on Twitter. Hashtag is THEHR Review. The podcast is also available on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Houston Roundball. And as we both mentioned, we're proud we've just been added to iTunes, so you listen to the podcast. So we're trying to be as many different places on the internet as possible. Hope you enjoy the podcast. We haven't decided if we're going to have another one this week. So we'll see how it goes, play it by ear. Thank you very much for listening. And in conclusion, to wrap it up, be true, be cool, and do more.